ready to start the teaching now. So again, hello everybody. This is Dr. Saundra. Welcome to my first masterclass doing it this way. You know, I teach masterclasses in the Vision Building Women group all the time. I'm in there all the time. And so, but people ask me, well, I'm not in that group, or I miss it, or whatever. So from now on, I think I'm gonna go live on my personal page, and then I can share it over to Vision Building Women, and hopefully share it onto my my business page also. But, oh, and hey, Dr. Brown, how are you? I'm looking down. I look down for a quick second and I see my mentor is on the line. Great to see her on tonight. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'm coming to you live on Facebook. I am live. I mean, I'm actually live. Some of you are seeing this live. Please jump in. Let me know that you're here. Just give me a wave or say a hello or something like that. And if you're watching this on the replay, then please do hashtag replay so that I know that you're watching this on the replay. And I definitely appreciate you all being here on tonight. Now, I am going to do a very, very special teaching on tonight. I have just been doing so much in terms of teaching and learning when it comes to your divine assignment. You know, I was really into teaching people on setting goals for so long. And so for whatever reason, you know, the Lord just really began to impress upon me about setting goals. And so when I started the year out, I started the year of, you know what, I'm not setting goals anymore. Literally, that's how I started the year, that I wasn't going to set goals anymore, that I'm only going to be operating in whatever my assignment is. Whatever God assigned me to do, then that's what I'm going to be doing. And so as I was actually doing that, and as I was actually teaching it in my Vision Building Women group, teaching it to the women who had signed up for a particular course, I realized that there are so many people who are doing different kinds of things, but aren't necessarily in alignment with their divine assignment. And so someone asked me the question, they said, Dr. Saundra, you know, how do you know when you're in alignment with your divine assignment? How do you know that, you know, you're doing what God wants you to do? And how do you know that you are actually in a place that God has for you to be at that particular point in time? And so I developed a course it's actually called the Alignment with Your Divine Assignment Bootcamp. And because people kept asking me how, and if you know me, you know that I'm a teacher, and you know that one of my things is to be able to teach people how to do things, not just be really all the spiritual kinds of things, and without teaching you how to operate in that. And I think that's a really, really big deal. And so I actually developed a course, and it's a boot camp because we do it in a concentrated period of time. So it's a boot camp. And so I actually developed a course called Being in Alignment with Your Divine Assignment Bootcamp. And it's a 4-week course. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that at the end here. But I developed that course. And while I was teaching that course, the question always comes up, well, how do you know when you're not in alignment? How do you know when you're outside of what God wants you to do, or what he has for you to do in a particular season? And so that's what I'm going to be teaching on tonight. That's what I'm going to be teaching on tonight. Now, most of you know that I can get long-winded, but I'm not going to get long-winded on tonight. I'm going to keep this within a particular amount of time because I know it's a Sunday evening. Some of you have to get ready for work tomorrow and that sort of thing. So we're going to go straight into the teaching. Now, something different also that is going to be on is I am going to show you some PowerPoint slides. I'm actually going to use PowerPoint slides. Now, this is the first time that I have ever done this with being live on my Sunday evening teachings. Usually on my Sunday evenings teachings, you're looking at me, right? But tonight, like I said, it's a new season. It's a new season for teaching. I am in a season where I want people to take action, get results, and make impact. That's what the Lord has just been impressing upon me in terms of my teaching. Make sure that as you teach, people take action, that they get results, and then make an impact. And so you're going to be seeing some higher level, different kinds of things from me in terms of how I'm teaching. So one of the things you're going to see is that I'm actually going to be using PowerPoints so you can actually kind of see some things as opposed to just hearing me talk. So I am going to actually now, what in Zoom is called sharing your screen, and we're going to go ahead and get prepared. So you should see coming up on your screen, you should see me over here in the corner. So you might see me waving at you, okay? You see me over here in the corner. And then what you should see are some actual PowerPoint slides. You should actually see some PowerPoint slides. And it looks like they are coming up. Excuse me. I'm still having I was sick for about 2 weeks and I have a little bit of a lingering cough. So I have to drink a little water to make sure my throat doesn't get dry, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to be teaching on tonight is 3 ways to know that you are not in alignment with your divine assignment. So what you should see up here now, you should see a PowerPoint slide, and you see the title of it. You should see my name and my title, which is Ministry and Marketplace Master Mentor Coach. Now, notice that I have use the term mentor coach, and I will tell you that I use the term mentor coach in terms of what I am, because I am a mentor and a coach. Everybody cannot say that. Everybody cannot say that they are a credentialed mentor and a credentialed coach. And so I am both, and I do both, and I enjoy doing both. Many of you have experienced me as both. And so I just want to, again, like I said, it's time for a new level, a next level kind of thing. And so it is exciting to be able to bring you teaching from a mentoring and coach perspective. So that's what you're getting ready to get on tonight. So again, my name is Dr. Saundra Wall Williams. I am your Ministry and Marketplace Master Mentor Coach. A little bit about my background for those of you that don't know. I've been in business for myself. This is going on 4 years. It doesn't seem like that, but I've been in full-time coaching, mentoring, coaching, and consulting and training for myself for about almost 4 years now. Before that, I was Senior Vice President for all 58 community colleges in the state of North Carolina. And what I found out is that at some point, I wanted to be able to do what I'm doing today full time. I wanted to be able to teach. I wanted to be able to work with leaders. I wanted to be able to work with women who are in leadership in terms of mentoring and coaching, whether you're in ministry or the marketplace. Those are my specialties, because those are the 2 places where I am. And so, and be able to move you forward, be able to help you, emerging leaders, experienced leaders, C-level leaders, be able to help you move forward in things that people can't teach you unless you've been there. So my company, which is WMS Corporation, that's what I do. And so you'll be hearing more about that. And again, welcome all of you who are coming on. I'm doing something a little different tonight. I'm going live on my personal page and going and sharing that in a couple of places. So if you're tuned in live, thank you for being here. And if you're watching this on the replay, then please do #replay. So again, tonight we're going to be talking about 3 reasons why you are not in alignment with your divine assignment. Now, before we get there, I want to just give you 2 statistics. I did some research, because it's really important when you talk about you're not living your dream. I mean, you always wonder, why is it that people are not living what they want to be doing? We have these dreams about working for ourselves full time, some of you. And some of you have dreams about writing a book because you've got so much inside you that you want to be able to give to people. But I did some research, and less than 20% of people actually are living their dream. And I got that from CNBC. Less than 20%. Oh, Lisa says that I'm excited to get started and have you help me move forward. Yes, Lisa and I just signed a contract. We're going to be working together, and I'm so excited. I can't tell you what she's doing because we don't do that. All right. But so excited to be working with her. All right. And again, I see a lot of people are coming in. So thank you. Whether you're watching this on my personal page or whether you're watching this in the Vision Building Women group, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, going back to the statistics. So less than 20% actually of people are actually living a dream. Now, this is actually men and women. This did not differentiate between men and women. So this statistic is about men and women. So when you think about that, think about, yourself. Think about yourself. Are you actually doing what it is that you would like to be doing? Are you actually doing what it is that you truly, truly desire to do? Now, I'm not talking about that you want to be vacationing all the time, and that's fine. If that's what you want to do, but are you actually working towards that? Do you have your time? Do you have your life structured in such a way that you can actually reach that dream, that it will actually come to pass? Let's look at another statistic. This is one that really, really hit me hard. Again, this is men and women. This is not just women. This is men and women. And it comes from Wealth Research Group. And it says that 98% of people die without fulfilling their dream. 98% of people die without fulfilling their dream. Now, that is humongous to me, because that says that most people live their lives and then die without doing what it is that God has for them to do. Because most of the time, whatever your dream is, whatever's inside your heart, whatever is just shaking you up and it's something that you really want to do, is something that God has put in your heart. It's something that God has said, this is what I want you to do. Now, some of you have a dream of, going back to school. I was talking to somebody recently, and she had a dream of pledging a sorority. And I told her, I said, I know someone who pledged a sorority at 65 years old. She pledged graduate chapter at 65 years old. And I said, so you can't give up on a dream. This woman wanted to be in this particular sorority. And so that was her dream since she was in college, and she was finally able to do it. And she did it. She was finally able to do it, and she did it. And so you can't give up on your dream. And so when you look at these statistics, 98%, and then 20% of people die without, 98% of people die without fulfilling their dream. Only 20% of people are actually living their dream. Then you begin to wonder, okay, where am I? Where am I? And the statistics were actually a little bit more than this when I first looked at this a couple of years ago. When I asked myself, what do I need to do to live my dream? How do I need to structure my life such that I'm in alignment with what God wants me to do? Now, I pretty much knew what my calling was. You get to a point where you have been mentored and you have been working with people, and you know what God has called you to do. For some of you, your calling is at your job. You're doing what God has called you to do in this season on your job. Okay. For some of you, it may be in ministry. For some of you, it may be in nonprofit. For some of you, it could be in owning your own business. All right. Some of you, know what that is, but for whatever reason, you're not doing it to the level that you would like to be doing it, meaning that you're not spending the appropriate amount of time on it. And so you find yourself and you begin to wonder, okay, why am I not in alignment with the divine assignment that God has for me? And people always ask, well, Dr. Saundra, what is that divine assignment? Well, I can't answer that question for you. I can't answer it, but you know what it is. You know what that thing is that you would do if nobody even paid you. You know what that thing is that's in your heart to be able to help other people. You know what that thing is, that assignment, that piece, that action that you want to be able to take. You know what that is when it's, you are having a business and you want to be able to share a business. I was talking with someone recently, and part of her business is helping other people get wealth. Gain wealth. Okay. And by her empowering people to do this, then she knows that's the assignment that God has for her right now in this particular season of her life, is empowering other people to get wealth. So you know what that assignment is. You may not be walking in it fully, but you know what it is. So the thing about it is, are you going to be in the 98% of people that don't step out and do what it is that God says you're supposed to be doing in this season? Are you going to be in that 98%? Okay. What I want to talk to you tonight is, how do you know if you're there? How do you know that you're not in alignment with the divine assignment that God has called for you? Now, So here's again the question. You're not in alignment with your divine assignment. Now, I want you to look at this picture. This is a picture of me, and this picture was probably taken, I want to say it was in January or December. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and actually look at my calendar when this picture was actually taken. But if you look at me, I look okay. I look okay. But physically, I was probably, when this picture was taken, physically, I was probably in some of the worst shape in my life. Physically, okay? Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, I was fine. Financially, we were fine. But physically, I was probably in some of the worst shape in my life right here. And so I was literally not in alignment with my divine assignment. Now, the reason that these particular words are selected, alignment with your divine assignment, is because I have a mentor who uses this term all the time. And when she uses this term, one of the questions that I always ask myself is, how do I know? How can I get in alignment? What are some of the paths that I need to take? What are some of the actions that I need to take to get in alignment with my divine assignment? And so one of the things that, and I look at myself here and I said, you know what? I've got to get in alignment, or there's going to be some issues. There's going to be some issues with me personally, physically. Okay, there's going to be some issues with what God has called me to do if I'm not walking in alignment with what he wants me to do. So I want you to remember this picture. I want you to remember this picture of me in the pink, and think about the fact that I was not physically in alignment. I was probably in the worst physical shape that I've ever been in this particular picture. All right, so now I want you to know that alignment with your divine assignment is more than just work-life balance. Okay, alignment with your divine assignment is more than just work-life balance. You have to remember that. I'm not talking about work-life balance. I'm talking about you being whole in every area of your life. Now, this is so, what is the word one of the ladies used in a past boot camp was that is so transformational. She went through the boot camp, and she actually went through it twice. And so not because she didn't get it the first time, but because she said, I want to make this a part of my life, so I've got to go through it more than once. But it was like she said, this is transformational because this goes beyond work-life balance. Now, do I believe that you can have work-life balance? I do believe that. And I'm even working, finishing up a book about that. But right now, what I'm talking about, it goes beyond work-life balance. This is looking at who you are in every area of your life and being in alignment with what God wants you to do in every single area of your life, okay? And I know you may think, well, Dr. Saundra, I'm not sure if we can do that, but you can. So hang on with me and let me show you, all right? Let's go to the next one here. So when you look at just the word alignment, by itself, alignment means that you are in the appropriate position. You're in the right position. When you're aligned with something, you're in the right position, okay? So I need you to remember that. Now, when we talk about divine assignment, your divine assignment is the task that God has given specifically to you to accomplish in all areas of your life. So now we're going to look at some areas of your life tonight. And sometimes you don't even think about this, but I need you to, because if you're going to be in alignment with your divine assignment, you just can't think about work. You just can't think about home. You've got to think about some other areas of your life. All right. So we're going to talk about that. So when we talk about divine assignment, we're talking about those tasks that God has specifically given to you to accomplish in all areas of your life. And let me tell you, there are things that God has said for you to accomplish in every single area of your life. Every single area of your life, whether you want to believe it or not. All right, there are areas, everything in your life, there are areas that things that God wants you to accomplish. All right, so now let's move on to the definition. So what does it mean if I'm in alignment with my divine assignment? Exactly what does that mean? So that means that you are in position for the task that God has given you to accomplish in all areas of your life. Literally, it means that you are in position and you can do what God has said for you to do. Now, the key is, and this is what I want to show you, is the key is, how do I get in position? How do I get in position such that I am doing the task that God has given me to accomplish in every area of my life? Okay, so now, first of all, let's look at some areas of your life. Now, when I teach the course, when I teach the boot camp looks at all of these different areas. Now, when you think about areas of your life, most people just think of work and home, work life and home life, okay? And what I'm telling you tonight is that if you're going to be in alignment with your divine assignment, you must go further. You've got to go further than just looking at work and at home. You've got to think of every single area of your life. So let's look at these really quickly. You got to look at your personal spiritual area. Now, this is about you. This is about you being in alignment. There are other people and other circumstances that will impact this, that will impact you. But right now, I want you to think about the areas of your life. So you need to look at your personal spiritual life. That's you. Okay, where am I spiritually? Okay, do I spend time with God? Where am I spiritually? Okay, the next, where am I in terms of my family life? Now, your family life can be pretty big, because your family life can be, if you're married, your husband, if you have children, your children, if you're taking care of your parents, your siblings, your other extended family. It could be other people who could be a part of your family. But here, when we talk about personal family, I'm talking about your actual family, your blood family, those people who are kin to you, like your relatives, okay? And then there's your personal physical health. Well, so when we talk about the areas of your life, we're also talking about your personal physical health, all right? Then there's your career. I almost forgot one here. Your personal development, your mental and your emotional self, all right? So when you think about the areas of your life, remember, like I said, you just can't think work and life. You've got to think all parts of you. So your personal development, your mental and your emotional components of you. There's your career. Some of you have careers, and under your career, that would be if you're working a job, you're working for someone else, or you have your own business, okay, whichever your career is. But you've got to take that into consideration. Your other personal relationships, and some of you have relationships, you're like me, you have relationships out the wazoo, okay? I've got relationships with so many people in so many different areas. I've got church relationships. I have organizational relationships. I have basketball and school relationships. There are so many other relationships, sorority relationships, okay, NC State relationships. There are so many other relationships that you have that are outside of your family. So if you think about that, okay, then you got to think about your finances, your personal finances. That's a part of you. You can't separate that from who you are. You got to think about your personal self-investment. You know, what am I doing? What am I doing to make me better? Okay, am I taking some classes? Am I getting mentored? Am I getting coached? Am I taking vacations? What am I doing to make me better? So when you think about being in alignment, all of these areas have to be aligned. And then finally, the last two are ministry. You know, who has God called you to serve? And some of you may think, well, Dr. Saundra, I'm not in full-time ministry. I'm not talking about full-time ministry, but God has called all of us to help somebody. We are all called to help and to serve somebody. For some of you, it may be that you're, and if this season in your life, you may have small children. So it may be that the people that you're helping are the classroom, the kids in the classroom and the teacher. But whoever it is that God has called you to serve, that's your ministry in this season. Okay. And then finally, you know, there's a calling on all of your lives. How has God called you to serve? Has God called you to serve through teaching? Has God called you to serve through coaching? We could be coaching like I do, or it could be coaching a sports team. Has God called you to serve through your own business? Has God called you to serve through empowerment, speaking? Has God called you to serve through writing a book? Has God called you to serve through starting a business, like my friend that empowers other other people. How has God called you to serve? So what I'm trying to get you to see is that all of these areas of your life, all of these areas, in every single one of these areas, there are tasks. There are tasks that you have to do so that you are in alignment with your divine assignment. Every single area of your life. Now you need to write this down. You need to remember this. And I hope you're taking notes. I see comments going forth in the Vision Building Women group, and I'm looking for comments on the personal page, okay? All right, so I hope you guys are still here. Give me some hearts or something and let me know that you're still here, that you're still with me. So what I want you to see here is that every single area of your life has an assignment or assignments attached to it. And those assignments are the tasks that God has for you to do. And when you are out of alignment in one area, then where you're going to find yourself is you're going to find yourself not being able to accomplish other things in other areas of your life. Thank you. Thank you, Facebook. I see the hearts going through. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, and the reason that I'm sharing this with you is because I see so many women specifically, because I work with women, I see so many women specifically that want to do something, and that something could be any number of things: writing a book, going back to school, starting a business, working in ministry, working in a nonprofit, pledging a sorority. I see so many women who want to do different things, okay? I'm sorry, I'm just looking at, someone is saying they were trying to watch the video, and for whatever reason it's not. Okay, they'll have to get it on the replay. I'm sorry, I'm not exactly sure why it's not happening on the other page, but it's on here. So, but it will definitely be a replay. You'll definitely see this in a replay. You'll probably see it several times this week, actually. So if you miss any of it, you'll be able to see it several times this week. But so how can you, my question is, how do you know when you're out of alignment in some of these areas? And what I found is that I was out of alignment in my health. And so when my health wasn't on track, then I wasn't on track in the other areas of my life. I have been out of alignment, for example, in my spiritual life. I have been out of alignment there. I have been out of alignment in terms of personal relationships, meaning if there were some people that I was connected to or that were connected to me, and that shouldn't have been a connection. Okay, that should have been somebody who maybe I should have left alone, or somebody maybe I shouldn't have been working with, or that sort of thing. I have been out of alignment in terms of my calling. I wasn't walking fully in my calling. I wasn't serving as hard and as God intended for me to. So am I in total alignment now? I work on it every single day. Okay. But what I've discovered is, how do I know when I'm not in alignment? How do you know when you are not in alignment with your divine assignment? And those are the three things I want to share with you tonight. And then I want to share with you, well, how do you get in alignment? What do you do? Okay. Number one, how do you know you're not in alignment with your divine assignment? Number one, you lack clarity and focus in some areas of your life. You are lacking clarity and focus in some areas of your life. Okay. Some people are saying they're having trouble logging in. I'm not exactly sure why. It could be a Facebook issue, but right now I'm just going to keep on going, and you'll definitely see this on the replay, so you'll be able to see it several times throughout this week, because I have it playing several times throughout this week. Okay. So, but going back, how do you know that you're out of alignment, that you're not in alignment with your divine assignment? Number one, you lack clarity and focus in some areas of your life. Now, think about those areas that we just talked about. Let me go back over here. So when we talk about the areas of your life, I'm talking about some of these areas: spiritual, family, physical health, career, personal development, relationships, finances, self-investment, ministry, and calling. So ask yourself, do I have clarity in all of those areas? Do I have clarity in all of those areas of my life? Am I Am I clear on what I'm supposed to be doing in terms of my calling? Am I clear on what I'm supposed to be doing in terms of my career? Am I clear on the types of relationships that I need in this time in my life to be able to move forward? And I will tell you, if you're not clear, then more than likely you are not in alignment with your divine assignment. Am I focused? Am I focused on what God has called me to do? Do I have time allotted out? Do I have allotted time such that I'm working on what God has told me to do? Because again, if you're not, if you know that God has told you, if you know there's something deep inside of you, whatever task it is, whatever assignment it is, and you know it's deep inside of you, and you know that this is something that you're supposed to be doing, that God has really been impressing upon you, and you can't shake it. You know, every time you see something or it just bothers you. For some people, it bothers you every time you turn on the TV and you see something happening with the environment. And God has said for you to get involved with an environment organization, and you still haven't done it. For some of you, it bothers you every time, you know, you think about your children and you ask yourself, what legacy, what kind of what kind of legacy am I leaving for my children? And God says, you know, leave a financial legacy for them. And it bothers you because you haven't started that task. For some of you, you know, God has put so much inside of you. You've been through so much has been going on in your life, and God has brought you through it. And then you ask yourself, you know, I should be why haven't I put this down in a book? And you know that's what you should be doing, but for whatever reason you haven't done it, okay? That's because you're not focused on it, all right? So when you focus, then you can be in alignment. But when you're not focused and you don't have clarity, then more than likely you're not in alignment with your divine assignment. When you're not focused or you don't have clarity. And I contend, and the ladies that have completed the boot camp can tell you that we have a way of being very clear and being very focused on what it is that God has said to do, and you work on it every day. You figure out the time. We go through all of that. We figure out how much time we can work, and then what are we going to do in that allotted amount of time, okay? So, number one, you're not in alignment with your divine assignment if you don't have clarity and you lack focus in some areas of your life, all right? Now, let's go to number two. Number two, in terms of why you are not in alignment. Now, this was one of mine. This is when I knew I was not in alignment. Number two, you are in a constant state of overwhelm and busyness. And here's the key: with no results or impact. Okay, you got to get this one. You are not in alignment with your divine assignment if you are in a constant state of overwhelm. You feel like you've got just so much going on that you can't keep up. Okay, you're in a constant state of overwhelm and busyness, and you have no results or impact. Now, I will tell you, this is one that I struggled with. I struggled here big time because it seemed like I was doing so much, you know, and I was thinking I was getting some results and making an impact. But what I found was I was just spinning my wheels. I was just getting a lot of tasks done. But in the end, what were the results or impact? Well, here's what I had to learn is that before I start a project, before I actually start something, I need to know what are the results or what are the impact, those two things, those two pieces, what are the results and the impact that I'm looking to get out of this before I even start. All right, so now I don't take on a project. I don't take on something unless I know what are the results I'm looking for and what's the impact that God desires for me to make. All right. So now you have to look at, if you're going to be in alignment with your divine assignment, you can't look at what it is that you do the same way that you do it. You know, I actually heard one of my coaches, she was doing a workshop online the other day, and I'll share this with you. And so one of the things that she said is that every time she goes to a conference, or every time, and this has really stuck with me, every time she goes to a conference or a workshop or a networking event or whatever it is that she's going to, she puts together a plan of what she expects to get out of it before she even goes. She just doesn't go just to say, oh, such and such is having a workshop and I think I'll attend. Okay, what are the results and what's the impact that she wants to get out of that? What are the results that she wants for herself? And then whatever those results are that she wants for herself, how is that going to impact the people that she serves? And so when I heard that, I said to myself, oh my goodness, that's deep. I never thought about that. You know, I never thought about that. Every time I go to a conference, have I even thought about, why am I going? Sometimes we just go to conferences because it's the thing to do. All right. It's the thing to do. Well, I'm 57 years old. I can't go to conferences just because it's the thing to do. Okay. Most people that know me know that I don't do much traveling in basketball season because I am here for my son. That's one of the things that we talk about in the boot camp, is that what are those things that you have that are non-negotiable? Okay, the things that you can't move because you've made a commitment in another area. One of mine is that during basketball season, I like to be at my son's basketball games. And right now, basketball season for school is over, but now they're in playoffs, in conference playoffs, and they are in state. They're going to be in state playoffs. So we're going to be busy up until mid-March. Okay, and we know that. And so because I know that, then when I go to his games, I know that I'm just going because I'm going there to support my son. But then I think about the conferences that I go to. You know, I go to ministry conferences. I go to work conferences. I go to other different kinds of conferences. But what I found out is that sometimes I'm just going. Like I'm going to, on this coming, I think it's Tuesday. Look at my calendar. I should know about it off the top of my head. Tuesday, I'm actually going to a breakfast. And I'm going, before I go, I'm actually going to determine, why am I going and what am I going to get out of it? What results am I going to get for myself? And when I get those results, what impact am I going to make for other people? But see, you're not in alignment with your divine assignment if you're constantly doing. You're constantly in overwhelm. You have so much going on, and then you're so busy and you have no results and no impact. All right, this is one of the ones that you really need to understand, okay? Because I believe that we as children of God, we as people who are believers, and that God has placed something in your heart, when you go somewhere, you do something, how does that impact what God has placed inside of you? If God has told you to write a book, if God has said, I want you to begin to speak to the nations, I want you to begin a speaking career, I want you to do whatever he has said. If God has said, I want you to start a business, when you go somewhere and you do something, how does that, what kind of results are you going to get out that towards that divine assignment? What kind of impact are you going to make towards that assignment that God has given you by attending whatever it is you're attending? Now, I'm not saying don't attend. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, think about things now on a different level. You know, we always talk about, y'all, we always talk about going to the next level. All right. Going to the next level doesn't mean that you're going to jump and shout harder than you jumped and shout yesterday. That's not what going to the next level means. Going to the next level means you are doing things such that you're getting results and you're making an impact. You're making the kind of impact that God wants you to make. The reason that he put you here, and you're doing what he wants you to do, you're in alignment with the assignment, the divine assignment that God wants for you. Okay. Now, let's go to the next one. So remember, number one, one of the reasons why we're not in alignment with our divine assignment, that we lack clarity and focus in some of the areas of our life. Okay. Remember, the different areas we talked about: finance, spiritual, personal development, your family life, okay, your ministry, your calling, your relationships, okay? If you don't have clarity of what you're supposed to do in those areas, then more than likely you're not in alignment. Number two was you're in a constant state of overwhelm and busyness, and you have no results or impact. And that's what you want. You want to have results and you want to make an impact, but for whatever reason, it's not happening. Then more than likely you're out of alignment. You're not in alignment with your divine assignment. And then the last one, number three, your relationships, and this is a good one here, write this down if you're writing, your relationships are not prioritized with the areas of your life. Okay, now this one right here, you need to understand. I want you to understand this. I'm not saying in any form or fashion that you need to break off any relationships in your life. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that look at your relationships. Look at the relationships and how do those relationships impact the areas of your life. For example, this is one of the ones that I had a conversation with someone a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about our personal financial, personal financial component of our life. And I was telling her about a particular workshop that my husband and I went to. I don't even think Bradley was born, so it had to be over 18 years ago. We went to this particular workshop with another couple, and the name of the workshop was Millionaire Mentoring. That was the name of the workshop. I'll never forget. It was Millionaire Mentoring. As a matter of fact, I still have the notes from that workshop. And in that workshop, he said that in order that most millionaires have from 5 to 7 streams of income. He said they have 5 to 7 streams of income. And he said, and he gave us that piece. And then he said, and most millionaires have mentors or coaches that are millionaires that can help them move through the process of becoming a millionaire. Now, here's the thing. When you think about your personal financial life and you want that to be in alignment, we're always going to that scripture that says that God's going to give us what we need to get wealth. Okay. And it's in Deuteronomy. Somebody can put it in the comments where that is, where exactly that scripture is. But the thing about it is that when you're doing that, you have to make sure that you know how to do that. Okay. What has God given to you to get wealth? So if you are you say, well, I know that I can make money speaking. Okay. I make money speaking. I do. I make money speaking. People pay me to come speak at their corporate events and different kinds of events, different kinds of conferences, that sort of thing. And so, but in order to do that, I had to be in relationship with someone who could help me understand that whole industry and move that part of my life forward. So what I'm trying to get you to see is, if there's something that you want to be able to do, you have to align yourself with people who are doing that. And if you don't prioritize your relationships such that they're in alignment with the kinds of things that you want to do, then how do you expect to be able to do it? How do you expect to be in alignment with your divine assignment if your divine assignment is to write a book, but you don't know any authors? Okay? I mean, that just amazes me sometimes. People will tell me, well, Dr. Saundra, I want to do coaching like you do. I want to be able to do the kind of coaching that you do. And those of you that have some of my individual clients are on here and they stick with me and they still listen to me even years after I've coached them. Okay. And I've got some new clients on here. I saw some of those names going past. All right. I've got some new clients on here, but here's the thing. If you want to do what I'm doing, then you've either got to be in relationship with me or some other coach. You've got to learn the coaching business. There are so many different things. And what I see people doing is they don't put themselves out there so that they can prioritize where they need to be. And they can prioritize the relationships they need to have. Again, I'm not saying to cut off any relationships that you have today. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you want next level, then you have to have the next level type of relationships. All right, you've got to get in groups of like-minded women. All right, I'm just reviewing some of the comments. Oh, I see some of my certified coaches, and I see some of my certified coaches on here. I see some of my new clients on here. Oh, welcome everybody again. And so it's just great to see everybody here. But again, your relationships, you must prioritize them. All right. You must, if you want to start a business, then you need to be in relationship with people that have businesses, that are doing well in their business. You know, one of the things that I've been looking at this particular company to become a part of very recently, and I've decided to do it. And so one of the things that I saw is that there's so much training. There's so many ways that you can talk to other people who are in the business and are doing well, and they help you with your strategy and that sort of thing. Okay, so that's a relationship that if I'm going to do well in that business, I've got to prioritize my time and my relationships to spend over there. Okay, let me give you another perfect example. When God called me into ministry, I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I was called. I didn't know. I didn't. You know, my auntie, Evangelist Lydia Jones, is a awesome woman of God, and I grew up under her in terms of ministry. My mom, you know, I grew up under all of them. And I watched them, but I wasn't behind the doors with them. I wasn't behind the scenes with them. So I didn't really know what to do. So I have a ministry mentor. My ministry mentor, she may still be here. I'm not sure. As a matter of fact, she is. She's right there. My ministry mentor, Dr. Shirley R. Brown, is on here. And I literally, and still do, sit at her feet. Okay, because here's the thing, when you talk about prioritizing your relationships in terms of the areas of your life, if you want to move forward in your calling, for example, I'm using this as an example, this is one of my examples. If you want to move forward in your calling, if you want to move forward in ministry, then you have to align yourself with people. And it's about relationship. This is not something you just do tomorrow. Okay, you have to develop those relationships. You have to go where they are. All right, that sort of thing. I have a business coach. I have two business coaches, actually. I have two business coaches. I have a ministry coach. I have people that work with me in different areas of my life. And people think that I have it all together. I don't have it all together. You see me and doing a lot of things because I have aligned my relationship. I've aligned relationships with my divine assignments. And so when you think about all the areas of your life, if you don't align your relationships, all right, if you don't prioritize relationships such that you can move forward, then you're going to be out of alignment. Okay. God divinely connects you with people. And sometimes you don't want to be divinely connected with people. And I tell you what, that's your loss. All right. I will tell you, there are some people, some relationships that I've lost because I didn't even realize what God was doing. You know, I'm thinking the person wanted something from me. All right. And let me give you this example. And this is one of the examples that I just love. Okay. And I've told this young man this, and so he knows this. Many of you know, some of you may know if you're from this area, some of you know a young man named Ryan Ray. And Ryan came to meet with me one day in my office. This has been about 5 years, maybe 6 years ago now. And my first thought was, oh, what does he want me to do? That was my thought. But what I didn't know was that God had a divine connection with the two of us. Okay. Ryan is now he's a CEO of an organization. I've forgotten the name of it. But anyway, Ryan introduced me to something. He introduced me to something that helped me. Okay. And we've had a business relationship ever since then. He's introduced me to other people. I've introduced him to people. So what I'm saying is sometimes God divinely connects you with people and you are thinking, well, I don't need them. They don't need me. Never, ever discount who God puts in front of you. Let me say that one more time. Never, ever discount who God puts in front of you, because they could be the very person that you need to be in alignment in a certain area of your life. Okay. Now, again, I just told you 3 reasons, 3 ways that you know that you're not in alignment. So let me give you some examples. I told you mine, my health. I had some things in my relationships that were out of alignment. I had some career and business kind of things that were out of alignment. They were not in alignment, and it was showing up because I wasn't getting the results and making the impact that I wanted to make. Some other people, let me show you some other people. This is Della from Texas. Della was in the last boot camp that we had, and her alignment was all around personal development, you know, some of the things that she wanted to do personally for herself. Okay. And now she's gone through the boot camp, so she knows exactly now how to align all of that, how to make sure that all the things in her life and to get it done, not just to say I want to do it, but actually line it up so that she can actually get the work done and get the task done. Another person who has been through the boot camp, this is Amanda from Virginia. She also was struggling with personal development, structure, and accountability. And one thing, if you're going to be in alignment with your divine assignment, you have to have people that are going to hold you accountable. Because if you don't have people that will hold you accountable, then you, believe me, you will. All right, I'm sorry, it's my phone ringing there. All right. When you don't have people that are going to keep you accountable, then what tends to happen is you just kind of do your own thing. I'm sorry, everybody. Let me let this person know. All right. Okay, somebody's trying to contact me and let the person know that I'm online. I can't answer the phone or they're going to keep calling back. All right. So, but Amanda was having issues with her own personal development and structure and accountability. And so now that she's been through the boot camp, she's structuring her life and things differently. All right. And then finally, Ernestine's from right here in North Carolina. And she had some issues with business and career and personal development and spiritual. And so getting all those things in alignment, finding how do I determine and the time to do all of that. Okay. So now, since she's been through the boot camp, she knows how to do it. Now, does this mean that these ladies are perfect? No, that's not what it means. What it means is that they know how to be in alignment with their divine assignment. They know how to structure their day. They know how to structure their time such that they have the time. They give themselves a time to actually do the task that God has said for them to do. And I want to tell you something. All three of these ladies work full time. They're not like me and do this full time. And you say, well, Dr. Saundra, you know, you can do it because you work for yourself. Well, you know what? All three of these ladies work full time, and they have been able to say, okay, now I know how to structure. Since I've been through the boot camp, I know how to structure what I'm doing so that I can be in alignment, so that I can do the task that God has said for me to do. So very quickly, I want to introduce you to the Alignment with Your Divine Assignment Bootcamp. Okay. I'm at the point in time now where I am going to offer you what you need to take action, to get results so that you can make an impact. And for this, it is the Alignment with Your Divine Assignment Bootcamp 2020. We did one in December, did the second one in January. Those ladies are on fire. They are moving forward. You just met 3 of them right there. And so I've had some comments. People have given comments. This is what Amanda said when she took the first boot camp. She said she's going into 2020 like never before. And then she said that it is eye-opening and life-changing. It will definitely get you organized so that you can start producing the results that you want to see. I'm not just saying this because this is something that I'm doing. No, I'm saying this because these ladies have been through it and they know what to do. Tara said it'll be more realistic, helps her be more realistic with her time. And one of the things that we learn in the boot camp is how to say no to some things, okay? Working on a clear plan of focus. Remember, one of the things that we understand that you're not in alignment is that you're not in focus. And so one of the things that we do is help you to have a clear plan of focus. So what does a boot camp actually look like? What's in the boot camp? Well, these are the 7 steps that if you're going to be in alignment with your divine assignment, these are the 7 things that you need to do. And this is something that we teach you in the boot camp. You need to know your divine assignment. Number 1, you need to know the seasons of your divine assignment. Number 2, you need to have a clear plan of focus. What should I be focused on? How should I focus? That's number 3. Number 4, you need to understand how to prioritize your schedule. And that is something that we spend time on literally with calendars. I mean, we actually literally sit down with calendars and understand how to do that. Number 5, you need to understand, who am I called to? Who is my assignment? literally the people, the person, people. Who am I assigned to? Because one of the things that we learn is that you're not assigned to everybody. Write that down if you don't already know that you are not assigned to everybody. We also learn about hindrances, distractions, and setting boundaries. So if you're going to be in alignment with your divine assignment, then you need to understand, you need to be able to identify your distractions, your hindrances, and how to set boundaries. And then finally, you need to understand your assignment is your assignment. What does that mean? What that means is what happens when you don't do your assignment, and what happens when you don't do what it is that God has said for you to do. All right. So if you are want to get in alignment with your divine assignment, these are the 7 steps. These are the 7 steps that we take you through in the boot camp. It is so concentrated. It moves fast. And the reason that it moves fast is because it is a boot camp. It is a boot camp. I don't want to take 7 weeks or 10 weeks to show you how to do this. I like for you to do this over the course of about 5 weeks. And then after that, you are on a roll. You are moving and you are in alignment with your divine assignment. So what do you get? What are your results from the boot camp? You get a clear plan of focus, what we call movement strategies. You literally understand your purpose, values, and your mission. You actually do and get a prioritized schedule, and you do that on a quarterly basis. The process that I show you is repeatable. So you actually repeat this process over and over. You identify your hindrances and distractions, your personal expectations. You learn to create healthy boundaries, okay? You got to create, I can't get into that teaching right now, but you got to create boundaries, right? Okay, accountability, and you're in a community of like-minded women. This is literally 12 hours of training with like-minded women plus accountability. So if you're interested, I told you I was going to teach, I was going to make you this offer, and then I'm going to be done. If you're interested and God is leading you to be in alignment with your divine assignment so that you can get action, take action, get results, make an impact, then you need to go to bit.ly/AR Bootcamp 2020. bit.ly AR Bootcamp 2020. And I'll put this in the comments so that you will have it. I should have already had it in here. All right, so I did it for those of you that are in Vision Building Women. There you go right there, okay? So you should see that. And then for those of you that are on my personal page, let me put it there in here for you all as well. Put it right here. All right, and you should see it on the personal page as well. So if you're interested, go there, look at it so that you can decide. If you're ready to be in alignment with your divine assignment, if you're ready to go through, and where is it here? You're ready to go through these 7 steps in a boot camp format. I tell you, it's intense. It's intense. The ladies who have been through it will tell you it is intense. And there are some boot campers that are on here. They will tell you. But at the end, one of the things that you know the actions you need to take, you know the results and the impact. Because one of the things that we do very early on is to determine the results and the impact that we want to make. And then finally, if you sign up for the boot camp, this is actually listed at the bit.ly AR Bootcamp 2020. There are 3 bonuses. You get an after the boot camp checklist. So you might ask yourself, okay, I'm done with the boot camp, now what? All right. And so I literally tell you what to do. You literally get a personal alignment playbook. This is invaluable. This is invaluable because every time you begin to work in a specific area of your life, you have this playbook. And because the playbook is electronic, you can print it over and over and over and just do this every single time you get ready to move forward in an area of your life, every single time, okay? And then finally, bonus number 3. Bonus number 3 is a recording, a recorded teaching on how to make money from your gifts. Okay, how do I make money from my gifts? And that's one of my favorite things to teach. That's a bonus teaching that you get. That is a part of the boot camp if you sign up for the boot camp. All the training is online. I don't do it live anymore. I do have a live component, but all the training is online. So what that means is that you can watch it over and over. You can do it out of the comfort of your home when you get ready. But in addition to that, we are going to have weekly Ask Anything Q&A group mentoring sessions so that you can focus on your stuff, your career, your business, your personal alignment in specific areas. So this weekly Q&A with me, and it's going to be with me. All right, weekly Q&A is going to be invaluable to you. And then finally, how much is the boot camp? This boot camp is actually valued way more than $697, because you can't put a price on changing your life and getting in alignment with your divine assignment and doing what God has told you to do. All right, but the boot camp is only $197, and there's a payment plan. For those of you that have a problem with the $197, there is a payment plan. If you go to bit.ly/AR Bootcamp 2020, you will see all the information there. Please go there. Please do not get off this teaching tonight and just say, you know what, I don't want to spend $197. You know what? You're going to spend it either way. And let me show you why. Because you've got three choices. You can do nothing, and remember that nothing is a seed. Okay, if you don't do anything, all you're doing is seeding nothing into what God has said for you to do. So you're going to pay for that one way or another. You can try to implement on your own, and you can go through a whole lot of a rigmarole, spending a whole lot of money on implementing something on your own, or you can join the boot camp. So I hope to see you in the Alignment with Your Divine Assignment Bootcamp. All right, go ahead, get signed up. Go ahead, get signed up. It says that the next boot camp starts on the 20th of February, and that's actually the day that the orientation rolls out. That is the first teaching that you'll receive is the orientation, and then you'll have the schedule of the live Q&A sessions. All that comes after that. So go to the website. If the alignment with your divine assignment is what God is saying for you to do, if that boot camp, if you are tired of not being in the right relationships, if you are tired of not being focused, if you are tired of being in so much overwhelm and not being able to get the things done that you want to get done, that you know if God has said for you to do, then you please go to bit.ly/AR Bootcamp 2020. Read it, go through it. If God is telling you and leading you in that direction, then please, by all means, go there, do it, and I will see you in the boot camp. Now, usually I take questions at the end, but I'm out of time. I wanted to be off of here in an hour. So if you do have any questions, please put your questions in the comments, or you can just send them directly in a message or something on Facebook, and we will be more than happy to answer those. So again, I want to thank everybody for being here on tonight. I'm going to stop sharing, so now you should just see me, okay? I want to thank everybody for being here on tonight. Thank you for being here as a part of this masterclass. The three things that you know when you're not walking in or you're not in alignment with your divine assignment. And if you are ready to be in alignment, then sign up for the boot camp. Go get in the boot camp. Don't miss out. Sign up for it. And we hope to see you there. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I hope to see you in the boot camp. Bye-bye.